Well, this video is a long time coming, but here I am today, and we're going to be discussing how to actually mine in PSO2 NGS, as well as the best way to do it to get the most out of it, well, as fast as humanly possible. But before we hop into all that, welcome back to your number one top for PSO2 NGS gameplay, how-tos, and all that jazz. And let's go ahead, let's give a giant thank you to everybody that is supporting for the last day of September here. And of course, if you want to get your name listed among all the wonderful folks, we will go more into that in a bit. But for now, let's go ahead, let's jump into NGS, and let me show you how to mine like a pro. So first of all, before we get into any of that, we need to talk about randomite, because randomite is technically a different type of material here. So in this video, I'm not exactly going to be fully going into well-defined randomite, mainly because randomite is a special event type of material. So these will only appear during certain events, certain seasonal stuff. They're not around constantly. And if they do show up, they will be like 2 to 3 months apart. So just know that is a whole different discussion. But just know why I'm showing you how to farm efficiently. If randomite is happening for you at the time of the video, as you can see it is, you might also find some randomite as well. So keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and start this off with a Quartz in Central Aelio. Just know there is mining material that will appear all over the map. But this is mainly the most efficient way to get the bell minimum here. So keep that in mind as well. But as far as Central is concerned, the main area we want to farm here is, of course, a white across this river right here. And, of course, I will have a list of the materials you can find in this area by just running along here. And also, just keep in mind as well, you're not only going to find mining material, but you're also going to find some seafood as well. So if you're doing any of your dailies or anything for seafood, or maybe you just need it for cooking, this is also a very good place to farm it. So pretty much all we need to do is come down to the river right before the forest. And as we going to go ahead and just one literally straight down, all the way down to where we're going to go ahead and reach literally the net zone leading across a border. But pretty much just follow this directly down. And of course, you can go ahead and find you a whole bunch of mining materials. So there you go. Have fun with that. And this is the best place to farm inside of Central Aelio. Next, let's go ahead and talk about North Aelio here. There is actually a fairly decent amount of places here. This is a little bit more spread out. But just keep in mind, this is still a very easy mining farm. And of course, like always, here's the map for the paths, as well as what you will find in this area. So to start off, the main thing we want to do when it comes to like this, I get ocean, river, lake, whatever you want to call it, area, the best course of action here is of course once you spawn in, to go ahead and pretty much we want to run across the outside of this area. Because we can go ahead and once again also find some wonderful fish, some green container. So if you ever really need green container, here is pretty much the zone in Elio you come to as well. But you will go ahead and find a decent amount put out pretty much all the way around this area while you're getting that rock clip. So pretty much follow the mountain around. And of course, you can get your hands on so many more mining materials here. So that's pretty much it for the water part. So let's go ahead and let's move a little farther inland. So next up for North Elio, we're going to go ahead and start off from a quote that Ruka device. And here we are pretty much going to travel up the mountain here because we can actually get a handful of stuff. So to start off, just know by taking that path, you will have a chance to run into a dread. So if you dread farming, this also is kind of helpful as well. So you can knock out a few things in one go. But we're going to go ahead, pretty much walk all the way up the mountain. And we will see a whole bunch over on this side of the mountain. And then of course, we're just going to go ahead and pretty much just walk all the way around this, and of course jump over the little crevice over here. Well, of course, all dread is, and there we go. Already any more metal. So just pretty much follow around this area. The little area you might be running back and forth a little bit because they pretty much spawn on both sides of the mountain, and sometimes a little bit in the middle as well. But nonetheless, here is a fantastic place to farm for North Aelio. And then as far as our last area that is very useful to farm in North, we are going to come on over here and net to the edge of the map for Aelio. And that one is going to be pretty much running to the edge. Or once you start seeing that little blue, I get capsule around this area. This is ideally where you want to be, because all the materials, you also find some vegetables and stuff as well, is going to be spawning pretty much up and down the mountains. And we do have pieces of that mountain. Well, it does go down a little bit, and you can go ahead and find all the metal down here, as well as, once again, surrounding the edge of it. So that right here will be, of course, our last area to farm material for North Aelio. And for the last area that is a must-do for mining is, of course, South Aelio. South Aelio is another one that is a little bit spread out on a mining. You can find them cattle throughout. But as far as a very straightforward mine, we're going to go ahead and start at the Ruka device. And we're just going to go ahead and jump straight off to the left. And from here, we're going to go ahead and find that waterfall that we're just going to go ahead and go behind. So this is going to be pretty much a straightforward area for the most part. So as we're going to go ahead and come on and down here, we're going to go ahead and, not only in the case of right now, a lot of randomite, we're going to cross into a two-way. We can go up or we can go straight. So let's go ahead and just head up real quick. And we're going to go ahead and take this out, because following this path up will give you a whole bunch of materials as well. And pretty much once you make it out, you might find a couple more materials scattered about. But once that is done, let's go ahead, let's head back into the cave and walk our way down to the opposite direction. So once we are here, we're just going to go ahead and follow the path on downwards. This is, of course, going to be a very easy farm, because not only is it pretty much a straight shot, they will also take it down into a dead end as well. Since the only other thing down here, other than a whole bunch of dogs, is, of course, the Ruka device. And once we get down here in the Ruka device area, pretty much all we want to do is just go ahead and run around the edges and maybe a little bit in the middle as well, because a lot of the material will go ahead and spawn around the rock area. Any if I'm not having much luck, because randomite is kind of taking up all the spots. But nonetheless, you can go ahead and find you a decent amount, especially around the actual cocoon. So my advice would be just double check this area and run back the way you can, because sometimes, depending on how the spawns are, sometimes you might actually overlook some mining materials. So I do recommend just double checking, and of course turning on your mag channel if you haven't already. So leaving Elio, we're gonna go ahead and travel to Retem next, and we're gonna be going ahead over to the however we pronounce, either way, the giant mushroom area inside of Retem. So we're gonna go ahead, start off right here at the Ruka device, and the main thing of interest here, we're going to go ahead and just run around the circle on the outskirts of this area, and going to go ahead and collect a whole bunch of material. Once again, this is another area that is very much in handy to have your candle turned on, because not only will the material spawn around the mountain on the bottom part, but also the little like stand up mountain that is here as well. They can also spawn up them. So this is one of them areas that you can get a lot of material, but just make sure you go ahead and get everyone using your candle, because this is another one area that one or two might be able to slip through your fingers. But for the most part, you can get you a whole bunch of material, like you can see here, like what that, like 6 all white net to each other, as well as you can also pick up some fruit or vegetables as well here. So this is also another good area, not only to mine material, but also mine some food as well while you add it, knowing this the food will spawn roughly around the end of the pass. So for me, I always go white and work my way back around to the Wuka device. And of course, once you actually hit your Wuka device, you know you are done down here. So once you are done with the bottom part and you are back at the Wuka device, we're going to go ahead and take the jump pad here up, because we got a couple more of material we can get our hands on up here. So by taking it all the way up as far as we can go, we want to head to the middle of the mountain right before you hop down into the lower areas. And the main reason we are wanting to come here, not only to get our hands on any more vegetables or food or whatever this fall under, we want to mainly come that way because there is any more materials up on top of the mountain once I get them above my head against it. And when we get closer to the top, we can go ahead and start finding any more cattle around. This is only going to be like maybe I know like 10 or so mining area, but pretty much what you want to do is of course get you a somewhat of a landmark in your head, whatever make it easy for you. And pretty much we just want to run around at the very top to grab these, and also we can get the materials off of the trees as well. And pretty much once you finish up this area and you do a full loop and you got all your materials, you are pretty much good to go here. And then that will pretty much do it for this area in Retem. And leaving Retem and heading on up to Kvaris, we're going to go ahead and start off by hitting up Central Kvaris. And of course, we are up here pretty much at the Wugadabite. This is very similar to Aelio, mainly because we're going to go ahead and just follow the river down. And of course, you can go ahead and pick you up as well some wonderful yellow chests here. So if you're still on the hunt or trying to get your hands on, of course, some more materials when it comes for your Kaiser, this is a great place to be. And also, you can tell there's a lot of randomite up here. So not only can we farm these, we will go ahead and start heading down, because most of the material is outside of the money materials that you can find that of course give you 3,000 setup pretty much for every one you break. We're gonna go ahead and of course head on down toward the river itself. So once we actually get down here, since it is a little bit of a wide, but hey, we got a whole bunch of other stuff to get. We're gonna start being able to get our hands on not only more money materials, but as well as a whole bunch of different types of materials here. So of course this area is honestly the most ideal, especially if you only got time to farm one area at a time. I highly recommend making it your main one, because the variety of the material you're gonna get is actually really great, because it's pretty much every material from every zone previously in Elio as well as Retem. So this is a great way to just get you a hot pot of stuff. And of course, they are very simple to find, because like I said, they only really spawn following the river side. So that makes this extremely easy. And on top of that, this is another one of them areas that we are near water. If you need some fishing, this is also a great place to actually get your hands on fish. And of course, once you go ahead and hit the waterfall area, congratulations, you're officially done with this area. And for my last area I highly recommend to mine is of course West Cavalets. You want to go ahead and start up here at the 4th or 2nd Ruka device, and pretty much the main thing of interest we're going to do here is get on a snowboard and travel pretty much down to the mag, because once you hit your mag, you are pretty much done here. But not only are you able to find a whole bunch of mining materials, such as Blizzardium, taking up most of the spawns, for me at least, but you can go ahead, find you a whole bunch here, as well as, of course, any more boxes that you can break for your Kaiser, since there's a whole bunch out here as well. But this is another area that you might have to one up the area a couple of times, because they are a little spread out, because as far as like the mounted wedges or mountain output, whatever you want to call them, I get spikes. There is, of course, a whole bunch on each of these. So ideally, you want to go ahead, make sure you hit all the spikes, as well as, of course, hit any of the areas that will have material. A lot of the material itself is very much like all in straight line, since a lot of them are like guiding you towards grabbing yourself your chests. And of course, once again, once you hit the water, congratulations, head back up to the top, see if you missed any. If you have not, you are officially done and downhill in West Cavales. And I think I got a friend. Oh, hi, how you doing? Maybe I should wave at him. Hi. I don't think you want to be all friends. And there you have it. There is all the zones I recommend highly to actually mine every single day. Just know there is, of course, mining material do spawn in every single region. And certain regions do have very specific mining. So if you are on the hunt for anything very, very specific, I do highly recommend, of course, checking out the interactive map, since you can literally look for specific material, as well as, of course, showing you where they all spawn, and also any other material inside of the game. So I will have a link in the description for this if you want to hit up that route, and of course to keep up how exactly all these are spawning on a day-to-day basis and which materials. But for just mining and getting your hands on a whole bunch of stuff, this is how I do it. I try my best to do this every day when I log in, so I highly recommend you do the same, because pretty much that will get you the majority of the material you will need for upgrading your weapon or trying to trade in to get materials to unlock your Kaiser. And of course, if you want more information on unlocking your Kaiser, I did a whole series of video. I will have them linked above. But for that mining video, that will go ahead and do it for me. Let me know in the comment below if you have any other location that is very good that I didn't mention here, because things are sometimes changing and I'm all the way up for learning new routes. But if you have found that video helpful though, be sure to do the thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the wonderful bells below, and of course, once again, like always, if you want to support the channel beyond watching, don't get me wrong, watching and sharing is a great way to get my content out there to help the channel keep growing. But if you want to do the next step and get your name listed here with all the wonderful folks, be sure to head on over to patreon.com/Maconn, subscribing over on twitch.tv/TroyMaconn, where I stream monthly every single day. As well as a heads up on that, there is a giant Halloween marathon coming up over there, where I'm going to be playing all the scary game for all of October. So be sure to check out the live stream schedule for that. And of course, if you also want to get listed here and you want support on YouTube beyond watching and subscribing, be sure to hit that wonderful join button below to become a member. And thank you everybody that is supporting the channel. And of course, with that, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to head on out of here because we got a busy week ahead. And I will see you in the comments.